Tesla had earnings today, and the stock is down at about $227 after the call and after the numbers. And I'm not worried as a long term investor at all. I'm going to explain why. We have to be honest, though, the numbers themselves were not the best. I don't want to say dog crap, but definitely not the best. I posted on X the revenue as soon as it came out, up 2% year over year. That's not bad, 2% growth of the size of Tesla, but for a lot of these big tech companies, we really would like to see more growth there, right? The good side is the energy business growth. Cybertruck deliveries were good, more regulatory credits and service growth. But the downside is that overall, the sexy car prices are lower and they've also had fewer deliveries. Now, from a profitability standpoint, which is very important when we're looking at a company, we want to see revenue obviously growing and we want to see net revenue or what we're actually keeping growing alongside of it. And in this case, from down to 1.6 billion in Q2, which is 6.3% margin. This initially sent the stock dropping down to about the 240s. What we've been really focusing on this channel and in our bull thesis is the AI and robotics play. A lot of this is going to have to do with FSD in the next 12 to 24 months, the development of that, as well as the robo-taxi network in the next 24 to 36 months. I posted while Tesla growth wasn't hot, FSD miles are growing rapidly. Cumulative miles driven with FSD supervision is growing steadily, increased from June 2021 to June 2024. You can see just from June 2023 the massive increase in miles driven. It's just really astonishing to see the rapid growth of miles driven and just think of how many iterations and think about how much more accurate FSD has been in its most recent iterations. It's crazy to not only think of the scale of this, but how fast this will compound. Now let's look at Tesla's growth expectations. You see first, which is volume. So growth, first from Model 3 and Y, next from autonomy and new products in 2024. So when they're talking about autonomy, they're talking about the SaaS model of full self-driving. In 2024, as far as growth, they're expecting slower growth overall with vehicles, launching next-gen vehicles and products, and energy, which has been growing rapidly, is still expected to grow faster than automotive. And this is okay when you understand the core business of what Tesla is and where Tesla is going. In my opinion, as a bull, we are no longer looking at this as a car company. It's okay if Wall Street wants to, and the stock does continue to drop, but in my opinion, we're past that. Now, will Elon and the Tesla team be able to deliver on all of this and as fast as we're expecting? That is a completely different story. And in my opinion, that's where the risk comes from, but I'm willing to risk it. So seeing the actual revenue numbers and profitability kind of slow, that's okay because the company itself is completely pivoting. I've seen many companies, including my own, make a pivotal shift that in the short term was hurting numbers, but long term was going to move them towards the goal and the massive growth that they were expecting. And this is what I'm expecting when it comes to Tesla. As far as cash, they're looking for liquidity. They need enough funds to finish their expansion. Their management, they're looking to keep a strong balance sheet. As far as profit, they're going to be looking to cut manufacturing costs and put more profits from AI software and their fleet services. And then the other thing is the products. So what they're going to be looking for is a new model, so more affordable cars ready by 2025. So obviously Elon has not abandoned that idea. He really plans to build up the Tesla fleet. He was talking about that heavily on the call today. They'll be focusing on efficiency and using current platforms to save costs. They'll be focusing on capacity, aiming for 3 million vehicles, 50% growth over 2023. And they're going to be focusing, most importantly, in the cash cow, developing the robotaxi manufacturing approach, which is now pushed back to October. So where does this leave us right now? Tesla is trading right now at $227 from a major technical standpoint. You guys remember that while I was bullish on Tesla, we were talking about how the BX trender was continuing to show lower lows and we could have a potential bull flag pattern. I'm currently in December calls, $260 strike. I am in with about 50% of the full position size that I wanted to be in. My plan was to average down with another 50% if we pulled back to $220. That's because this is the bottom of the market bias. And in most cases, price will pull down into this market bias. In this case, we have a bull flag. It will normally bounce, sometimes pull under a bit just to tag retail out before moving its way back up into higher highs. And I can definitely see this happening. So my plan is to average down with another 25% of my planned position at $220. If we bump ourselves out to the weekly chart, you're going to see as well that the market bias on the weekly is the top of that is placed at $200. This will be the last level that I plan to average down on my December $260 calls. From that point, we will have a stop loss set at about $170 or a break of that market bias. We'll set an upside target at 300 to 315, our second target up at 400, and my final target would be up at about $500, but I doubt that that would happen by the end of this year. What will most likely happen is that if price actually pulls all the way back down to $200, I might close my losses and just realize it on a short-term basis and then open up calls for February or March. So that this way I still have exposure, but I just have to deal with less theta decay. Let me know what you guys think about earnings down below. If you guys want to get access to all my free resources, learn how to trade with the indicators that you see here on the screen, check out our course library. All of them are completely free. The link is in the description. Thank you guys for all the support. I'll see you tomorrow.